Busy weekend, guys. Sales wise, comment wise, guys left a ton, so we got a lot to talk about, and I got a lot to ship. We had over 50 orders this weekend, so let's just get right into this. So guys, when I say it was a busy weekend, we've already got all of this packed up, ready to go. Now we're about to go over these. It's 10 more orders, about 24 cards, but before that I have to address something. I've been getting a lot of comments about this clock and how much it's annoying to you guys. To me, it says 12:13. Apparently to you guys, it's just doing a whole bunch of flickering and random stuff. So we're going to take care of that today and block it. How's that? Let me know in the comments below if it took that annoying distraction out of the picture. So Benny Breaks, he's got a pretty good topic here. He says he uses the low-end sports cards to build his stack so he can upgrade. And if selling the higher-end cards doesn't work out, he'll go back to low end. It's a good fallback option. You know, I love that idea. What Benny does is he sells low end cards so he could build that bigger stack like we just talked about, which a lot of people do that. They do this just so they can make the extra money to get the cards they want or just to buy more cards. We used to do that as well. My kids, they collect Phillies and Yankees. Me, I don't collect much anymore except Jeter and Mattingly. So what would we do? Buy a box, they get cards for their PCs, then we sell the rest and we got a little more money. So what Benny does is what a lot of sellers do. It's really just a way to help fund the hobby, which is a great thing in my opinion. So best of luck to you, Benny. He says if flipping the higher end don't work once he builds his stack, then he'll just fall back to the lower end, which that makes sense to me. These cards will move. It may take a while, but they'll move. Now, Gem Rippers, he says he's never thought of looking at eBay analytics, which blows my mind. But then again, I'm a data analyst for my full-time job, so analytics are a way of life. But yeah, he says he never thought of looking at eBay analytics, and the random thought, why don't I have affiliate links in my description? Now, Gem Flippers, you completely blow my mind with this. He says he never thought to look at those analytics. It's pretty crazy to me. You can learn a lot from them. I use analytics a lot more with YouTube than I do eBay, but I do use the listings quality report on eBay. That report, like I showed you, you can see what your competitors are promoting at, and usually it's far less than the dynamic ad rate, which is pretty eye-opening. I'm sure that was. We talked about that in my last video. So with this report, you can see what people are promoting at. You can see how many of your competitors are using free shipping, who's charging for shipping. Like we've talked about, you can see the promoted ad rate, what they're promoting at. You can see how many are offering free returns and so much other stuff. Analytics are so huge that they can really help you find a way to get ahead of your competitors on here by knowing what they're doing. And I will tell you, not many sellers are looking at that. So it's some valuable information. So yeah, I would definitely take a look at that. Look at your analytics. You don't have to really get lost in them, but definitely look at them. It can do nothing but help you. Now on YouTube, oh man, I get completely lost in those. But from there, I can, you know, learn a lot about you guys, what you're watching, what you like, what you don't like, just by looking at analytics and some of the graphs in there, which is pretty freaking cool to me. And it's why I'm constantly changing up these videos, because I'm getting information about what works and what doesn't work. So yeah, analytics plays a huge role in everything, and you should definitely be looking at it. Gem Rippers, he also asked, like, why don't you have an affiliate link? Why don't you set up Amazon or something like that to promote the scanner and other tools you use? And to be honest, I just don't take the time to do it. I forget all the time. I just kind of go through, do my shipping, and go back to work. So that's the reason I haven't been doing that. Now guys, if you're enjoying these Q&A sessions when I do my shipping, make sure to hit that like button so this can get pushed out so we can get more people in on the conversation. Skinner Tim, he left a very long comment, and it's an interesting one that we're really going to discuss today. Long story short, he said eBay did the grading change to stop us sellers from ripping off buyers. Not putting grades in there and just using used is our way of being sneaky. Okay, the full comments below, I'm gonna leave it up for a couple more seconds so you guys can read it. But yeah, we got a lot to unpack on that one, so let's start talking about that. Last topic, I saved quite a few things to ship for this topic, just because there's a lot. Scanner 10, they did this to stop sellers from ripping off buyers. One, I don't think that's why eBay did it. eBay did it for a peace of mind. I don't think it's to stop anybody from ripping each other off, because putting nothing or used as a grade is a sneaky way to hide the fact that a card is junk is pretty much BS. Sorry, it's just BS. That's what eBay's allowed for years. You have not had to put in the condition. Yes, it's in your item specifics, but it's not something you had to put in. It's never a requirement. So nothing sneaky about the fact of saying it's a used card if your card's not graded. But eBay didn't do this to prevent people from ripping people off. Because let's be honest, sellers are still going to rip buyers off, and buyers are still going to rip sellers off. You're never going to stop that no matter what eBay does. So that, saying that is just a joke. Telling buyers to view the pics and decide for yourself is unacceptable. What's unacceptable about it? If you give them a high quality image that they can zoom in and see the picture, what is unacceptable about telling them to look at the picture? The reason why a lot of card sellers are upset about this choosing a condition of near mint excellent by eBay standards is the subjectivity, which we talked about in the last video. It's very subjective when it comes to card condition. I mean, we see it in every category as well. People say clothing sellers. You could say something's very good condition and somebody can get it and say this shirt sucks, it's trash. The card thing is going to be fine in the end, but right now it's just an unneeded change. But again, to say telling buyers to look at pics and decide is unacceptable, again, that's kind of a joke. People can see what it is. I mean, when you go to a baseball card show, does every card say what the condition is? No, you look at it. Now, granted, you're picking up the card and looking at it yourself, but honestly, on a computer, where I'm able to zoom in, I could probably see a lot better some of the mistakes on a card than just picking up at a card show and going like this. But that's my 2 cents on that. That's what I think. Your local card shop, do they tell you the grade of every card? No, nobody does. They let you decide because everybody has their own opinion. Just like PSA 7, nobody wants, but guess what? It's an air mint, right? So yeah, I mean, this wasn't to do anything about about sellers ripping buyers off. It had nothing to do with that. They're just giving the buyers more peace of mind. And honestly, it's not like any of the buyers are reading the descriptions or going down to the item specifics to look at condition as it is. To say eBay got it right, you know, in the end, I think it will, but not for the reason you're saying. It's just, it gives the people a little better idea, especially the ones who don't want to look. They just want to search by a category and go. But you know what? Like we see with everything else on eBay, sellers are going to put things in the wrong category. Sellers are going to pick the condition they want to pick anyway. So in the end, it's not really going to make much of a difference. It's just eBay focusing on something else that doesn't need to be focused on right now when they have plenty of other issues on their website. That's really what it is. He also says he puts the condition in of everything to save the hassle of dealing with unhappy buyers who want to return because it isn't what they're collecting standards. Guess what? No matter what you put, you're still going to get people that complain because it's not up to their collecting standards. Point blank. You can say something is a certain condition. I could take your word for it, but then I can get it and go, you know what? That's not quite what I wanted. And guess what? You're going to be giving me a refund. And no matter what you put in that description, eBay is going to take my side, at least 90% of the side. Remember, we all know, we're all sellers. They side with the buyer, and that's what they're going to do. So really, doing that, putting the condition in every time, is just another thing that has a time suck to me. I can't wait till Car Dealer Pro has it in their system where you can just automatically, boom, done. Because right now I have to go back after I upload my listings and make the changes there. Now, if some of these responses seem kind of like all over the place, that's because what I do is I take the question, record the question, and then just start talking about how I do the ship. There's no real pre-thought put into these. It's just, here's the question, let me get like some of the things after I talk about it and then start moving on with my day. My opinion changes a little bit, or I think of something else to add that would have made more sense. But I don't worry about recording that. I don't want to take the time to really come up with thoughtful responses to a lot of questions. I just want to, you know, keep it the real effect and just answer kind of as I see it. I do formulate a little bit of opinions after I ask the question when I'm outside, but really there's not much time between doing that. Sometimes I actually record the questions after I do the shipping video. Didn't know that, did you? So not all the time do I have a formulated response, and I kind of like it that way just because it kind of keeps it real for you guys, and lets some of the emotion on some of these topics come out. All right, guys, great talk today. Lots to ship still, so I'm gonna get at that. But while I do that, why don't you watch this video about eBay and the condition changes? That way, if you don't know what's going on, you can see what Skinner Tim was talking about. Guys, thanks for being here today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.